Hi guys, thanks for checking out the video, and thanks for the responses I had from the first video I did like this. Had loads of questions, so looking forward to working through them. Some really interesting questions as well, but again, if you've still got some, please get them in the comments down below, and really try and get this sort of video working so I can give you the answers that you really want to know. Just to let you know what I've been doing over the last week. I took the performance side that I'm involved with at the university, took them down to Cornwall, down to Trevose. You might have seen it, we filmed there in the summer with Mark. Really nice complex, and got some really good practice done on the Saturday, and then they played on the Sunday. But yeah, very nice having them for the day. What I did was I screened them, so that's physical screening, and also just recorded their swings. So kind of before I actually start trying to make changes, they're already good golfers, doing in and around scratch. So before I actually start trying to alter things, really trying to understand their body a bit better, and then try and link that to their golf swing. And already I could see there were 2 or 3 examples where a guy swang the club in a certain manner, but the way that he actually, his body, he maybe couldn't do a certain movement, and that was kind of the reason why he was swinging that way. So again, it's quite looking forward to now working through sort of the data that I've gained from them, and actually coming up with some nice solutions to make them better. But yeah, so really productive weekend, and they did well on the Sunday, so again, was really pleased with that. From the questions that I had last week, slow play came up a few times, sort of what's my opinion on slow play. So that's what today's video is going to be on. And yeah, slow play, it's quite a tricky one. People have different opinions on it. I think the consensus is sort of nobody really likes the idea of slow play, and I think it's probably detrimental to sort of the growth of golf, and whether that be actually people playing or actually their perception of golf. But I think like slow play, it's quite a broad comment, and sometimes we talk about slow play and we kind of like bundle it all into the same sort of problem. Whereas I think that slow play, it is an issue, but it's in different scenarios. In different scenarios it's very different from others. So like if you take what you see on the telly, there are 2 or 3 golfers on the PGA Tour especially that are very slow, and it's a tricky one, especially when with those guys it's their job. And if you've got a personality where you're quite methodical, and like Sergio, he's not as bad now, but he probably 10 years ago now, he had the problem where he couldn't grip the club. He couldn't get that trigger going, and that's almost borderlining on sort of the yips. A psychological problem where you struggle. Like darts players get it; they can't let go of the dart. So if you've got somebody in that situation as a coach, it's very difficult, because they're usually aware that they're slow and they really want to speed up, but trying to speed up actually causes more pressure on them, and it actually slows them down. So you've got that sort of golfer, which it's very difficult, because although it's very frustrating watching them, you actually slow them down when you try and quicken them up. You've got your other type of golfer and I think like pre-shot routine. I think pre-shot routine is sometimes misinterpreted, and people think that the longer and more elaborate it is, the better that pre-shot routine is. Where certainly what we've been trying to distill in the performance side that I'm involved with is it doesn't have to be quick. The whole point of the pre-shot routine is so you get a really clear idea of what you're trying to do. You then decide on how you're going to do it, and then you do it. That's actually quite a quick process. But I think people tend to overthink it, and they actually miss the whole point of pre-shot routine. And like I say, you're trying to create clarity. So if I've got a shot, I'm looking at the lie, I'm looking at the yardage, I'm looking at the conditions, and kind of looking where the pin is. But then I'm going, well, right, the shot is going to go in like that. How do I do that? Well, I can do that with a 7-iron, or maybe I could do it with an 8-iron. No, to create that shot, it's a 7 and then go for it. I think people tend to, like I say, they're so interested in doing the pre-shot routine. What they end up doing is just taking hundreds and hundreds of practice swings. They think that they have to try and create this perfect environment before they hit. And like I say, I think it can sometimes, in that situation, it's detrimental to their golf game, and it slows everyone up. The third point with sort of slow play, and this is probably more an amateur level, is we always assume when people are being slow it's because of what they're doing over the ball, what they're doing with their shots. I think sometimes, and I wouldn't say it's etiquette, sometimes we can like almost be a bit too harsh on people, but it's little things like leaving your bag in the correct place, being ready to play, and those things can actually really make a huge difference to slow play. It's a little thing. Like I watched someone the other day, and they were trying to get in for light, but they've left their trolley like in the far corner, and then finished, and then had to go get the trolley and then walk it all the way around. And that slows things up twofold, because people can't play in, plus you then don't get to the tee. So sometimes little things like that can really help. Sometimes the format that we play, tee times are sometimes too close together. So what happens is you kind of bottleneck, especially in I don't know what your local course is like, but like certainly where I used to play, there were certain areas in the course where it naturally did slow down. Whether that be because it was a par 3, or maybe there was a par 5 or a par 4 you could drive. So it naturally bottlenecks. So when you had tee times too close together, that really caused problems. But then on the flip side, you tend to have tee times too close together because you've got lots of people wanting to play. So it's easy to say, oh, let's cut the field in half, but I think you've got to find sort of a middle ground. It'd be interesting how many of you guys play at places that kind of use a 2-tee start, because that's something that the PGA Tour use a lot. In events that I've played in where a 2-tee start is in operation, I always feel that yes, it can sometimes help, but that's probably not one that's used a great deal. And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and actually hear what's happening at your local courses. Do you use a 2-tee start? But yeah, this is a very broad topic, slow play. I hope I've given you some of my sort of thoughts. Due to its nature, I always feel that it's a difficult one, and you almost sometimes have to feel like you have to sit on the fence a bit, because you can insult people when you're really not trying to. It's just one of those things, and you kind of have to see it from both sides. Certainly, like I was saying, like the player that's like really struggling to pull the trigger. He's almost got a bit of tension in there, and he finds it really hard judging and trying to push them forward. Actually slows them down. Somebody that maybe is just being a bit ditzy and just needs to put their bag in certain places, maybe walk a bit quicker in between. Maybe that you can help enjoy not only your own game, but everybody's day. So, like I say, guys, really impressed with the comments and the questions I had last week. So please keep them coming. Either put it on this video, put it on any other video, or put it onto my Twitter feed, which should be just underneath here. So thanks, guys, and I hope to catch you soon.